Guys, what's up everyone? Welcome to Young Titan World. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be talking about one particular movie. And if you listen to the previous one, chances are you know what I'm about to say. And because of, usually when I make a decision to watch a movie, it's not because it's got a great director, it's got an amazing scene, or because the trailer was fire. 99.9% of the time, the movies that I talk about here, I've never seen their trailer before in my entire life. Interestingly, The Lord of the Rings, when I watched it, I also hadn't watched the trailer. So, seeing the trailer actually even gives me goosebumps. Anyways, we're talking about Totally Killer. Now, one reason also, or one thing that causes me to watch movies are because of the actors. And if you have watched The Adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, chances are you know who this actor is. So in Totally Killer, the storyline is pretty much like every murder movie or anything that's supposed to scare you about a murderer. I do not know what's wrong with American pop culture and always trying to glorify a killer. It's like they make the killers like supernatural beings. People who get stabbed and they don't feel the stab. Anyways, I digress, So Totally Killer is about this killer who stabs 16-year-old girls 16 times in the fucking chest and leaves them for dead. Okay, so ideally, he targeted about 3 girls in a school, and then after some years later, he strikes again. Now, the protagonist's mother is the victim of the long dormant that comes back to the active and stabs her 16 times, which I don't think it really works because she's not 16 anymore. She's a mother, for crying out loud, and she has a daughter, but I'm not even sure the daughter is 16 years old. Anyways, the point is, this 16-year-old stabbing killer is back again, but the storyline is a little bit interesting. Now, whilst I thought it was going to be just a drama that gets you hooked, apparently they also decided to throw in a little bit of science fiction, which absolutely threw me off and made me absolutely incapable of accepting whether I should be terrified or intrigued. Alright, so it has a spice of time travel. Alright, so let's start the story from the actual beginning. Alright, in the beginning, we start off with 16-year-old girls, 3 of them getting stabbed in the chest 16 times. Now, years later, we come back to the city, and we acknowledge the fact that these deaths have been idolized by the people of that city, all right, or that small town. Everyone's like, oh, look, the dude that killed 16-year-old girls is now a costume we put on for our freaking Halloween parties. Why not, right? Because Ted Bundy is glorified now, so why wouldn't you do that for a fictional character? Anyways, we ride along with the protagonist. We realize that her mother has been teaching her everything she needs to do to protect herself against, a killer, a murderer who goes around stabbing little girls. Now, due to storyline and how it works, these methods and ways do not work. And the mother dies in the process, even though she taught her child to do what needs to be done to save herself. I don't know, maybe she didn't take those practices seriously. Anyways, so the killer, who's now aware that the daughter of the person he just murdered is trying to come out and find him, he decides to murder her as well, which doesn't seem to go well, because he can't chase after a fast little girl who tries to escape from him, and she jumps into a time machine made by her best friend, and so the time machine sends them back to the very first time we're introduced to the 16-year-old 16 stab killer. And it's more like in high school, 1987 or whatnot, And we've got a lot of people, a lot of references about how cruel and evil those times were, and how every single thing is so cringe and rude and evil and, non-feminist, or at least, I don't know. It's like if you monitored a today person and you monitored a person in 1987, they both wouldn't have a lot in common. So it's kind of easy for you to make that conclusion. But I'm not up for the politics behind the fact. Let's just get into it more and more. So, freaking Murder Man now has lost his target. And he finds out from the best friend, because he is able to hide in plain sight. Actually, the person is a freaking old man. And the freaking old man is trying to understand time travel from a little girl. I don't understand why he doesn't just kill the little girl, but my hypothesis is that he needed more information as to how the time traveling machine works so that he could go back into time, go kill the girl, and figure out how to cause more death and destruction to the other side, which is the time before. Now, as constant time travel law, or at least whichever movie that ever introduces time machine, they always introduce a storyline or a way for you to understand time travel easily. This one decided to use the river theory. Time is like a river. You can get out and go upstream. When you go upstream, I don't know. I guess I got lost when they made that definition. But at least, I guess theirs is more easier to understand than Endgame. And they dropped some pop culture references like Endgame. So obviously, they're legit, right? Oh my God, kill me now. Now, anyways, bottom line is, the crazy old guy who actually made the killing so that people would listen to more of his podcast decides to go back in time to go and kill the girl. But he decides to kill two birds with one stone and kill his father, who at the time was a very famous news reporter, and he wanted to overshadow him or just not make him shine. So he decided to kill his father to steal his glory so that he would be known as the famous son who had the podcast that everyone listened to because there were recent deaths and everyone was curious enough to jump onto his podcast and make him famous. All right. Anyways, I don't know if I would ever have the strength or the heart to kill someone just to make my podcast legit. But seeing as I have tendencies to do really crazy shit, like actually have whipped cream for breakfast, I don't know. The limitations of my imagination is unlimited. So who the fuck can tell? So, yeah. The lady realizes she's being chased. They find out that back in time, the person who stabbed the three girls 16 times was actually a high schooler who was considered a nerd, and he had a crush on a girl. Actually, he had a girlfriend, and the girlfriend was teased by these girls. And it got to the point where she got killed because of the teasings that came from the three girls. And in order to get vengeance on them, he decided to kill them by hence stabbing them 16 times in the freaking chest. And then boom, like vengeance acquired or something like that. So we are in a very weird spot where when they kill him, they realized that it was a dude that he was just plagued by, the sadness, the loss of his girlfriend, his sweetheart, his tete-a-tete was gone forever, and decided that the only way he can make his life better was by killing some other teenage girls who inflicted the death upon his girlfriend. And, going back to the old man, he was able to backtrack and find the little girl who escaped his claws of death, but he was not able to kill her, and classic antagonist fashion, he divulged his evil plan to the girl and died after that, because the time machine thing needed something that turns around so fast that when you hit the walls at a certain speed, you turn into pink mist, which at this point, they could add anything. They could add Batman and I wouldn't care. But all in totality, even though I do not want to use this word, I found Totally Killer a little bit ridiculous. Like ridiculous in a good way. It's like it wasn't taking its killer seriously. At least I thought the whole, staring down a person with a mask is always scary. And the fact that they always made it seem like he never got hurt, even though he got stabbed, punched in the face, hit with a guillotine board, unless of course he was like super high, like 99.9% of the time, which could make a lot of sense because back in the day, cocaine wasn't that, powerful. At least according to their references, when you had weed back in 1987, it wasn't that powerful, it wasn't that effective. So, I guess in that respect, he probably was high when he was killing them. I don't know. Anyways, that's going to be it for Totally Killer. It was a very interesting movie, and I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. I think we will backtrack, and we could also find out a different way. We could... sorry, I'm a little bit sidetracked. Head's not spinning. I'm absolutely fine. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please like and subscribe for more, especially on the Spotify. It really helps the channel. Of all those who are listening on Pandora, I really do appreciate you guys. Everyone who's listening on Spotify, I appreciate you guys. And every other platform. You can holler and tell me where you're hearing me from, so I can give you a shout out or something, anything. Anyways, take care of yourself, and until next time, Young Time now. Thank you for listening. Bye.